So we've got to make sure our voices are heard within this building that we do not want ranked choice voting.
Well, they certainly made their voices heard. Idaho GOP Chair Dorothy Moon set the tone early this year on the topic of ranked choice voting. From the top of the state's majority party, that option is a no-go. Silly, she called it. So ranked choice voting got the big ban treatment during this last legislative session.
As I began to research a little bit and start to see where it was used in some areas, I began to get a little nervous that somehow that this was a new movement moving across our country. And basically what I'll tell you is this, that if you enjoy going to an election booth and voting for the candidate that you want to win, you don't want ranked choice voting.
Right now, we've done this story before because right now only 2 states in the entire country use ranked choice voting. There's some cities and some counties that do it as well, but as far as states, just 2. House Bill 179 was signed into law March 24th and prevents ranked choice voting or instant runoff elections from happening in Idaho. Since then, there's actually been a push to put that choice back to the voters. The Open Primaries Initiative is a proposal which wants to vastly change how Idaho does its elections, like getting rid of closed primary parties. And yes, it would also include a ranked choice voting mechanism. But about a week ago, Idaho's Attorney General got involved in this initiative idea. A part of the process of getting any initiative on any ballot involves the AG's office reviewing the proposal for clarity and style before it's released and people go out and collect signatures for it. Well, they did that review, and in their analysis, they say they found several issues with it. But are these issues based on politics or based on the law? Here's Joe Paris.
The Attorney General's analysis for a proposed ballot initiative to change Idaho's elections is in. The analysis, a standard step for a ballot initiative campaign, identified issues with clarity and formatting, labeled technically as matters of style and form. The initiative itself wants to change elections to open primaries and instant runoff general elections, also called ranked choice voting. In short, primary elections would include all political parties. Top 4 vote getters in the primary, regardless of their political affiliation, they would go to the general election. From there, voters then rank their top 4 in the general election, with the winner needing at least 50% of the vote. The analysis on the initiative finds several issues, and to be clear, the AG's analysis is, quote, advisory only, and the petitioners are free to accept or reject them in whole or in part. The analysis labels a few issues, like misleading use of open primary, inconsistent treatment of party or nomination endorsement, and a very technical miscellaneous matters section. Headline issues labeled serious legal defects include violation of Idaho's single subject rule, adopted in 2020. The analysis says, the so-called open primary that eliminates party primaries and the institution of ranked choice voting for general elections, those 2 matters are separate subjects and neither one depends on the other.
You can't expect a very impartial review.
Retired Idaho Supreme Court Justice Jim Jones is a leader with Idahoans for Open Primaries. He thinks the initiative is clearly one subject.
It's a phony issue. It's all one subject matter. It's all voting in the primary and general election. If he thinks it's got a problem and wants to challenge it in court, he will lose.
The he Jones is referring to is Idaho Attorney General Raul Labrador. Jones believes that the analysis from his office identifying the issues are politically motivated. He points to a recent tweet from AG Labrador that made it very clear that Idaho's AG did not like the proposed election format.
I read through the whole thing. I had to take a couple of naps in between because I couldn't believe that they were putting this out as impartial legal advice. But it is sophomoric work.
The analysis, not written by Labrador, but instead somebody from his office, also warns of violations of the United States and American Constitution. One example touches on the United States Constitution and where it says, quote, that the times, places, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof. It raises a question about citizen initiative impacts on federal elections. All issues considered, I asked Jones if there are some legit edits to make and how the campaign feels going forward.
I don't think what they have brought up as potential constitutional problems will stand up in court. It didn't stand up in court in Alaska, which we've modeled this initiative after, and I don't believe it will stand up in Idaho. we're pretty comfortable with where we are. We had anticipated making a few little tweaks in it, but it doesn't require any changes for the potential constitutional issues that he's talking about, because they're just bogus.
Quick self-edit. I caught myself in that package saying that the American and the United States Constitution. I meant to say the American Constitution and the Idaho Constitution. So that's what I meant. Anyways, so this analysis is advisory. Nothing in the report is binding or prevents any action. The group can keep going on with their campaign. But long story short, if this did pass in 2024 on the general election ballot and became law, then everyone would likely end up in court over it. And Brian, full transparency here on the 208. The AG staff today was wrapped up. So we're going to have thoughts from them on this process coming up tomorrow. Schedules are hard. We want to be very clear here. Again, Mr. Labrador, he was not the author of that analysis, but he did sign it at the bottom there, Brian. So we'll dig into this a little bit more tomorrow.
Ask him why he did sign that. All right. Thank you very much, Joe. You know,